Hi, welcome to What's Current. This is Charlene Carroll with A&M. Today we'll be interviewing Sam Koerbel from Lytei. I look forward to learning more about how he's impacting the brand, the business, and the industry. Welcome, Sam.
Hey Charlene, it's good to see you. Thanks for having me. How's everything going in Chicago?
It's good. The weather is starting to turn a little warmer, which is exciting. How's everything in Denver?
Same thing here. We had a little bit of winter this morning. We should have a little bit of summer this afternoon, but I'm just excited that the sun's up till 7 o'clock. After all, I'm kind of a geek for light, if you know what I mean.
Sam, what inspired you to start Lytei?
That's a really deep question, actually, and I could probably answer it for the next 4 hours. But instead, I think in 4 seconds, what I could really say is what inspired me to start Lytei is that I realized there was an opportunity to connect our community, an opportunity to really find a new way to scale the information across our industry. There's so much to learn in lighting. Lighting is really powerful, but at the end of the day, it is complicated. And I felt as an industry, we needed a new and fun way that was educational and entertaining, that would be able to tell people what lighting is, how it works, and really at the end of the day, just create an opportunity for conversations to be had at a more broad level, coast to coast and maybe even nationally, globally, all around the world.
Hey there, I'm Sam. Welcome to Lytei, where we believe you should always have creative freedom and the ability to learn whenever you want with no strings attached.
So with this opportunity, what would you say is the most unique part of Lytei and what it brings to the industry?
There's a lot of things that are unique about the lighting industry, and everybody absolutely has their niche, whether or not it's an individual, a business, or really like you think about the groups of people in the design community. But what's unique about Lytei is that we're none of that. We aren't a rep, we aren't a manufacturer, we aren't a design firm. We're actually not really tied to any service or product or material thing in the industry. We're just an advocate for all of it. We like to support lighting in general. What's unique about us is we're simply just storytellers. We tell stories about lighting.
That is a really unique position that I have yet to see in the industry. What is your hope on how Lytei can contribute to the lighting community?
There's a lot of ways that I think Lytei can contribute to this community. But first and foremost, it's letting this community know that we're there for them. We have the lighting community's back, whether or not you're an electrical distributor, whether or not you're a rep, a manufacturer, a designer, or even an owner. We want people to be able to easily learn about lighting. Let's face it, 2021 is all about access to information. And the faster people can learn, well, the faster we can all grow together. There's a saying out there, as the tide rises, all the boats in the harbor rise too, all the ships in the sea rise. And when we can help the tide rise faster, basically everybody gets to learn more about it. And when I say about it, I mean everybody gets to learn more about lighting in a fun, educational, fast, and informative way.
Definitely. So as we're trying to access this information and this education, what various platforms are you using?
The good news is we don't have to really worry about a platform because the world has given us some pretty amazing tools. Now I know there's a little bit of curiosity, interest, maybe distrust in the tech world right now when it comes to social media and all these platforms. But at the end of the day, when they're used appropriately, they're really, really powerful. And Lytei isn't here to, exploit people's personal data. Rather, we're here to put our content across every platform. Our goal is to meet people where they're comfortable. We don't want to force you to come to us. We want to be where you are, because at the end of the day, it is all about learning. And if we're not where you are when you're ready to learn, well, what good are we doing for you?
You mentioned content. Can you give us a sneak preview of what you'll be covering in future productions?
Yeah, I'm happy to. At Lytei, we really do just like to tell stories about lighting. So we're gonna have a wide variety of content that you're gonna see come across your desk, or maybe I should just say whatever platform you use most frequently and often. There's gonna be content out there that continues to tell stories about products that manufacturers are launching. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. There's 200, 300, 400 manufacturers out there. 150 of those are building beautiful architectural products, maybe 3, 4, or 5 a year. Take a lot of time to sit through a 1-hour lunch and learns. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and capture as many of those in 2-minute videos to help keep everybody up to speed on what's going on in the industry. Another big part of what we really wanna do at Lytei is we wanna deliver content that's just fun. What's up Wednesday? Yep. Yeah, that all sounds good, Mom, but I gotta go. It's Wednesday. Sorry, that was my mom. What's up Wednesday? We publish a video every single week on Wednesday, and it's meant to just be fun, but there's always gonna be some form of education behind it, whether or not we're teaching you guys about what it means to make content yourself, or maybe how to use 4 different camera angles in a room at once to really create that interactive and immersive environment. Those are a couple things we're up to. And also, one other thing that we're really looking to spin up this year is that educational arm. We really want to continue to just provide a baseline of education at Lytei. And when I say that, what I mean is the fundamentals of lighting. Like, what does layers of light mean? Why is it important? And why focus on the vertical surfaces? Do foot candles really matter, or is it all about the perception of light in a space? These are things you can look for us to create content on that, not only help advocate for lighting in our industry, but also can be used as a tool for the professionals in the industry. Because let's face it, you all are busy and time is finite. We gotta go home and sleep at the end of the day. So to us, if we can tell that story for you and you can just share it at the click of a button, well, that's what we call the triple win around here.
Bite-sized learning is so impactful. I'm excited to see this future content. So who is your intended audience?
Our intended audience is, put simply, anybody that wants to learn, whether they know it or not. What's important to us at Lytei is that the people that are lighting enthusiasts, the people that are engaged in the lighting space every day, first and foremost know who we are. We want them to know that our content is there for them, to learn quickly, but as I mentioned previously, to be able to turn around and share that at the click of a button. Ultimately, Lytei has a goal to reach an audience that goes far beyond what I might call our little tiny lighting community today. There's so many people in the design world that don't know anything about lighting. It's not their fault, they're just busy doing other things. And then there's those people who, write the checks, the owners reps, the real estate companies that are investing in spaces for people. Everybody kind of always says, what's it like to be in the lighting industry? And I just ask them what they do when they walk into a dark room. Well, you turn the lights on, right? We need to teach everybody about what it means to turn the lights on. And turning it on just isn't turning it on, it's, creating an environment in a space. So being able to educate people that have never really even thought twice about lighting, they're a big part of our audience too.
So moving forward, can you tell me the biggest surprise that you've had since launching Lytei?
Something always kind of surprises you every day. But the one thing that surprises me about Lytei is how fast it's been able to make an impact. The past year has been a really crazy year. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, myself included. But the one thing that surprised me the most is the pandemic actually put a big spotlight on Lytei and what we were doing, because our industry traditionally wasn't really focused on content and the internet so much. It was those relationships and those human-to-human interactions. I personally was a sales agent for 10 years, so I know what that's like, and I know how much everybody really enjoyed that. When that all came to a grinding halt and all of a sudden it kind of put a spotlight, no pun intended, on the digital world, the phones just started ringing here at Lytei and people were infinitely curious. So I'd say the most fascinating thing and the most surprising and interesting thing is how fast our industry has taken note that there is a maybe new, effective, and more efficient way to communicate at a peer-to-peer level.
Well, congratulations on launching something so impactful and meaningful to our community during a time that was tough for a lot of us. So before wrapping up, one last question. What are the 3 pillars of Lytei?
The first pillar is to work with manufacturers. Manufacturers are doing a ton of work behind the scenes right now. I mean, when you think about what it takes to basically engineer a computer system into the ceiling and call it a light fixture, well, there's a big story to tell behind every single product they launch. So we really want to help them tell their story, and we do that in a collaborative approach. It's not our job to review their products because every project is different. What we really want to do is we just want to connect with you at a basic level. We want to tell you the cold truth, the hard, honest facts about what this product is and the capabilities it has. And we want to let the decision about whether or not it's right for the project, which of course depends on price, procurement, the support it gets, up to you guys, the lighting community. That's really the first pillar. The second pillar is all about community. We at Lytei want people to love lighting, and that means a lot of things for a lot of people. For some people it's design, for some people it's just learning about the people in the industry. For others it maybe is a product. Some people are just looking for inspiration. So we're doing things like case studies. We're making videos about projects. We're interviewing an architect, an engineer, and a contractor all in the same setting. And we're letting them kind of give a tip of the hat to each other. Those are 3 people that maybe don't always get along, but at the end of the day, when lighting becomes the center of what they're all working through, it actually brings them together. So we want to tell stories like that. We also have a podcast that we publish weekly episodes called The Light Pod, where we interview innovators. We interview principals of firms. We also interview people like the 1-year-olds, the people that have been in the industry for just a year that seemingly know nothing, but let's face it, every young person out there has something to offer that us older folks don't necessarily know.
Welcome to the Light Pod, brought to you by Lytei, a hub for ideas, education, and a little bit of entertainment when it comes to architectural lighting. I'm your host, Sam Koerbel.
The last pillar of Lytei is the third pillar. It's the most important one. Fundamentally, you don't know what you don't know. Education is a huge part of what we're doing at Lytei. And while we're always educating across all our content, whether or not it's just fun, maybe a little entertaining or informative, we want to have a core group of videos, a core group of content, if you will, to tell the stories behind means and methods of lighting. Things like backlighting or lighting glass or lighting art, or things maybe a little bit more general, such as lighting a vertical surface versus the floor. Is a calculated light level really what we need to accomplish, or is it the visual perception and how we feel in the space? Things like layers of light, how to use them, and let's not forget the most important part of lighting, controls. What does it mean to control light? Why do we need to control light? Is it just to meet codes and standards, or are there best practices? Are there certain design aspects and elements that can be applied to lighting controls that really truly make the environment, a more pleasurable space to be in? Being able to react and respond to occupants' needs and wants in the space, customizing it with IoT things. There's so much that lighting can do, but we've got to break it down to bite-sized chunks. And that's something that's super important to us and is really the third pillar of Lytei that you'll see a lot more from us on this year.
Definitely. Well, we're looking forward to that. Before wrapping up, Sam, I just want to say sincerely thank you so much for your time today. I enjoyed learning how not only are you making an impact in our industry, but how you're working towards other industries to make the lighting world more inclusive. So for our viewers today, if you enjoyed what you see or saw, subscribe below. And what's exciting is Sam is actually coming back for another episode. We'll be talking more on a project basis. So Sam, we will see you soon, and thanks again.
You got it. Thanks for the time. I'll talk to you soon.